Yo, welcome to the New Normal Podcast, a place where we give the everyday individual voice. If you read the title, then you know we got a good one for you. It says husband deletes wife for playing with his children. We're going to be talking about Raji Sharif Black today and Randall Moore. We got videos and news stories for both of them. Today, the reason I want to do this because I've been seeing in my community where a lot of women do play with men when it comes to their children. They use children as pawns. They use children as get back tactics, putting these men in court. If the men don't have the money to pay for child support, they put them in jail. They play crazy games. They put their children in hurtful positions by dating certain men and putting these men around their children to be molested or even raped by these men, or even um playing with paternity. A lot of women play with paternity as well. And like I said, we're going to discuss Raji Sharif Black, and we're going to be discussing Randall Moore. If you're watching, make sure y'all like the video. Please give us a like. We're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to get it through the algorithm, and that will help a lot. So please, please, please give me a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching. And like I said, this is going to be a touching video today. So y'all just let's watch this video. Hold on, y'all. My computer. I got a new computer. This bitch is acting up. There we go.
Be doing this, but I gotta make it quick. For everybody out there that supported me and really knows what's going on, thank you all. Um, I've been going through a custody battle. I've been going through having my
All right, bear with me. This computer's acting up. So hold on real quick.
this, but I gotta make it quick. For everybody out there that supported me and really knows what's going on, thank you all. Um, I've been going through a custody battle. I've been going through having my ex-wife say I molested my children and all kinds of craziness. Been fighting for custody for 3 years. So, you know, shit has been real crazy. What's up, Oliver? You know about this. Going through it with my ex-wife, blah, blah, blah. So, meet, and start dating somebody new. And she got pregnant. And, we got in a fight. First thing she does is threatening that she's going to do the same thing. You're never going to see your kids, blah, blah, blah. It's the holidays, man. I don't have no family, nothing. Anyway, I just did something crazy, man. I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head, yo. Um, Felt like a dream. Like I never thought I would be that guy. Um, I can't go to prison, so the person that really started my depression and all of this is my ex-wife. So she next, and then I'm going to do myself too. But I just wanted to say this to people: don't play with people's emotions, man. Don't lie on these men. Oh, here's my ex-wife right here. Today's the
And if you've seen that video, this is sad. This is a very sad reality. It's a reality a lot of guys
So
don't
many
talk
houses
about.
for sale. Where do we even start?
It's a reality a lot of guys don't.
It's a house whisperer.
Yeah, that's right.
Children, their baby
I was
mama,
raised
their
in
ex-wives,
houses.
how they
Grew up in
use their children as
I don't have
pawns,
to define
playing
names.
games. I've seen men
Your
go off
perfect
the
house
deep
told
end, dealing with their children when it comes to like paternity. And like I said, they like to say that men don't fight for custody of their children or don't fight for their children at all, but that's far from the truth. If you know about how the court is weighed in the woman's favor, I always tell men this: if you have a newborn child, need to make sure that you're always at doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, checkups, if you can be at the birth of your child. And the reason you want to do this because you need to have some type of documentation that shows that you've been involved in your child's life. That's why typically women get awarded custody of children because when the child is born, the mother can show that she's has had type of um, has had some type of dealing with the children way more than you have, like breastfeeding, going to the store, and doing stuff like that. So, like I say, you guys have to make sure that you're being very involved with children at all times. Um, um, and you need to make sure you do this. Like I said, that men just as much of attachment or has just as much right as women, but when it comes to the court system, it doesn't seem that way. It seems as if, like I said, women are always giving children the custody and stuff like that. And let's read the story of this case. It says a Maryland man gunned down his former girlfriend in Baltimore, then murdered his ex-wife and confessed to killing on Facebook Live before shooting himself. Roger Sharif Black, 44, admitted he murdered his ex-girlfriend, Tara LeBang, Saturday afternoon while outside the Columbia apartment building of his ex-wife, Natalie. According to the chilling clip, Black says on camera, his ex-wife also about to die. I just did something crazy, man. That Hanover man says on the video. I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head, felt like it was dream. I never thought I would do that. Black said that he was distraught over the custody issues with both women, says shit has been real crazy and that he couldn't go to prison. The person that really started his depression and all of this was his ex-wife, Black continued. So she's next. And then I'm going to do myself too. But I'm just wanting to say this to people. Don't play with people's emotions, man. Don't lie on these men. Black's 42-year-old ex-wife then comes to the doorway. The video shows before suddenly cutting out. Oh, here's my ex-wife right now, Black says flatly. The frightening footage was reposted to Twitter by a woman who said she was friends with the gunman, the Baltimore Sun reported. Howard County Police confirmed Black had a relationship with both women, and he posted about working as a nurse anesthesiast on his Facebook page, according to the newspaper. This is a terrible, terrible tragedy, Baltimore Police Commissioner Michael Harrison told reporters near the crime scene. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of these victims. Like I said, this is very crazy. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more reports like this. And I hate to say that, but the way this is going, I don't think the court system or the government cares about men and men taking care of their children, men getting custody of their children, men having depression and being mentally distraught because of the issues they're having with their children, their baby mamas and stuff like that. They're not trying to rectify the situations. I see a lot of men out here trying to fight to change laws, and it's happening slowly, but it's not happening fast enough. You got to think with eggs, rising to $10, and people men are on child support and don't have access to their children. You got to understand, when it comes to the court system, it's really like kidnap, extortion, and bribery when it comes to the child support court. You take a kid from a child from their father. You say you can't see this child unless you pay some money. If you don't pay money, then you're going to go to jail. That's kidnap, extortion, and bribery. That is the sad reality when it comes to the children that you're having, and you should have equal enough rights. Think about this. Women can give their children up without any repercussions. They can even kill their children, i.e. abortion. Think about that. And no consequences. They can give their children to a fire department and not be expected to pay anything. They can give their children up for adoption and still don't have to pay anything. But a man can tell a woman, I don't want children, and she still has children, and the government makes that man pay for child support. And if he doesn't have the money, after he told the woman he didn't have the money, he could be put in jail. This is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. If you're watching, please like the video, please subscribe, share the video. Today we're talking about ex-husbands and husbands deleting their wives because of the kids. They're playing with these men kids and saying that they molested them or mistreated their children and doing foul and viral shit to the children, which weren't true. So these men go off the deep end and delete or kill, their wives or ex-wives and girlfriends. The next video I'm going to play is of Randall Moore. Randall Moore killed his wife. He kidnapped her, and they said he raped her while he had her in his possession. I don't say possession like she's his property. I mean like because he kidnapped her. This is like a court. This is him in court, and people saying stuff to him, and he shows no remorse. And honestly, I don't blame him if people were playing with me about my children and how I'm able to parent with my children and stuff like that. Like if you're gonna, keep my kids from me, you should be able to take on the consequences that come with keeping my children from me. Even though it sounds messed up to say, but it's also messed up to keep my children away from their father as well. I have a lot of men that like to speak out about it now. As far as my podcast, I've been bringing guys on that's showing like court documentation and what the games that their ex-wives or baby mamas play in the court system and how they use the court system to be their bully for them.
As Tracy Ann left, I started thinking about why she had left and what could have been done differently during this whole process. And then I started going through some totes of hers. I found a tote that had miscellaneous journals, and I went through every item. I read every single page of every journal that she had ever written since she was a little girl. And the most shocking thing that I came across, and I even shared this with my mom and my sister Misty here, they both read the letter, is a letter that Tracy Ann wrote to her mom when she was a little girl. And it was addressed to her mom. It was sealed, but it was
fair use.
And it talks about the sexual abuse that she endured at the hands of her father, Tim Lynch, and how she hated him for it. And these are quotes from the letter. It says, "I was young, only a little girl, so innocent and pure. He is evil and disgusting." And then talks about it. And then she talks about what he actually did to her. And this is over quite a period of time. That has got to be the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not saying what I did was any better, but and then Tracy Ann talks in these journals about how her mom, she went to live with her mom in Texas, and Sheila talks about how her mom and Tracy Ann were so close, which was quite the opposite. I mean, there's so many journal entries. They've got the journals now. They can read through all of them. But Tracy Ann talks about how she went to live with her mom in Texas, and I've got this stuff memorized because I read it so many times. She went to live with her mom in Texas, and her mom was dating a guy named Perrin or Farron. She was gone days in, days out, 2-3 days at a time. Tracy Ann and her siblings, Kathleen, would call, crying, telling their mom why he wanted her to come home, and her mom would be like, "You guys will be fine. Just eat this. I'll be home in another day." Finally, DHS stepped in and said, "Hey, what's going on here?" Tracy Ann wrote in her journals how...
If y'all don't know what's going on, he's in court right now reading the diaries of his wife and saying that how she had a messed up upbringing. And I think he's reading this because he's trying to paint a picture about how she wasn't the easiest person to deal with while dating. And like he said in another video, he didn't understand what postpartum is. He didn't understand why his wife was so bitchy and stuff like that, why she was playing with the children and everything. And also, this is, I think, almost 10 years ago, this case right here. So we still had a lot of stuff coming out about postpartum that was new and different at the time. Let's see if this one plays. Hold on. But this is the judge right here.
I'm going to give myself a right of allocution. I think you should know, and I know, that there are certain lines that a judge should not cross in terms of judicial propriety. I always tried to live by that rule. And sometimes you just have to throw caution to the wind. And if I do cross that line today, I'm willing to cross it and pay the consequences. Let me start off by saying if anything should burn in hell.
But I'm gonna say this as well. When you go to court, you got to always remember the judge is a human too. So when they hear these heart-wrenching stories, like he said, he's willing to pay the consequences, which he's supposed to go by the law. If they feel compelled enough or tugged on their heartstrings enough, they will say fuck the law and then sentence you in a way that's probably unconstitutional, go against your rights, just because they're humans as well. You got to always remember that when you committing these crimes and got to be held accountable to somebody, that you're always going up against another human. And sometimes it's not even about the evidence of stuff like that. It's about who has the most compelling argument, who has the argument that gets the biggest sob story, and who has the argument that moves and sways the crowd or the court.
It's not Teresa Ann's yearbooks and her personal memorabilia. When you get to prison, there are two men you ought to look up because you have a lot in common. One of them I sentenced on May 3rd, 2010. He murdered his wife. She was divorcing him. He was lying in wait till she got out of work, then followed her on the freeway, pulled up beside her, put his weapon out the window, shot her, killed her. Of course, the car rolled over and over for a while before it came to a stop. I sentenced him for murder on May 3rd, 2010. On September 30th, 2010, I sentenced a young man to murder. Now, he wasn't married to the woman he murdered. He was living with her. And she was leaving him. He strangled her to death. You three have so much in common, I can't believe. Yeah, you shake your head, yeah, because you know you do. And I just can't believe what I've heard, but I am really glad you had your right of elocution and you could say everything that you said, because if anybody didn't know what a piece of work you were before you start talking, they know it now. The three of you that I'm talking, I've sentenced 3 people for murder in the last 7 months. And when I say you all have a lot in common, you sure do. And it's been said before and it can't be said enough. You're cowards. You truly are cowards. You prey on women. They give you their love. They give you their trust, and you betray that. You betray it by physically and or mentally abusing these women. And they stay with you, notwithstanding that for a while. Because well, yeah, you're shaking. Because I think what they probably are doing is, I love this person. I trust this person. This must be some sort of aberration. This just is not the man that I married or that I fell in love with. And they're right. You weren't the man that they thought you were. So anyway,
That's the man they fell in love with. The man that killed them. That's probably why they was with them anyway. But like I said, these cases are, this man said that he did this because this woman was playing with him about his children.
And then when they finally have had enough, they try to leave. You guys just can't understand why they leave such wonderful men like you, but they try to leave, and you can't stand that because you can no longer control their.
He's right off. Oh. I would be an ad. Fuck. But like I was saying, guys, this is going to happen a lot more. I hate to say that. We're going to see a lot more people, men, when the court systems are playing with their children, are going to be deleting and taking out their ex-wives, baby mamas, girlfriends, etc. Whoever these women are supposed to be to these men. And it gets sad. Hold on, my bad, y'all. But yeah, it gets sad. Y'all, if y'all watching the video, make sure y'all like the video. It'll help me out grow the channel. Grow the channel, get it bigger, push it through the algorithm. Share the video. Today, if y'all put in the comment section where y'all from, and also, do y'all know anybody that has any issues or had an incident like this where they were trying to fight for their children, and the woman, it could be woman or man, was playing with the children. I've been watching a lot of court cases lately of child support court, and I see all of the crazy and vile things that the women say just to win paternity. I've been seeing a lot of women who don't even have custody of they have custody, but the child isn't even staying with the mother, and they move the kids to other states against court orders, and the judge had to they had to repetition the court because they had to go down to the court where the child is staying, or the child, or they had to the father had to fight for the child to get the child to come back to the state so they can get full custody, because the mother going against what they said in the court. Of course, molestation is the top thing that the women say, or he's beating the child, or I've seen one court case where the mother was lying and said the father didn't give the child the medicine. They come to find out she didn't pack the medicine when the child came over to the house, so the father couldn't give the child the medicine. I've been seeing a lot of crazy paternity court cases. I'm seeing a lot of crazy child support cases. Like I said, it gets crazy and crazier, the stuff that I see. This Randall Moore case is even crazier because I ain't never seen anybody in court like this cuss the mother out and say stuff to the mother while she was up saying stuff to him about how he killed her daughter. As a matter of fact, y'all remember what that lady name is? Jodi Arias. Hold on. And this is the mother of the deceased victim. I might get a new computer because it'd be acting slow.
Wife and tried to kill a Des Moines police officer, and now Randall Moore is heading to prison for life. The jury 3 hours to decide on the guilty verdict.
Randall Moore is guilty of not only first-degree murder, but also kidnapping his estranged wife, sexually abusing her, and trying to kill Officer Todd Rowland during a standoff. News Channel 8's Eric Hansen was in the courthouse when the verdict came down. Eric?
Cynthia, Randall Moore didn't show much emotion during the entire 2 weeks of the trial, and nothing really changed when the verdict was read.
Surrounded by a courtroom packed with the victim's family and a half-dozen deputies within arm's reach, Randall Moore stood as the verdicts against him were read.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree.
His only reaction? A slight nod. Then, as family members wept, the judge continued.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of kidnapping in the first degree, guilty of sexual abuse in the first degree, guilty of attempt to commit murder.
Just tremendous relief that he is getting the justice that he deserves.
We knew that he was soundly guilty of these crimes, and the jury confirmed that with their verdicts.
Defense attorneys never denied Randall Moore killed his estranged wife or shot Officer Todd Rowland, which made a difficult trial even harder for Therese Ann Lynch Moore's mom.
An evil excuse for a man did unspeakable things to my daughter, and we got justice today. And Therese Ann was with us today, and she knows that no other woman and no child will ever be hurt by this man again. My daughter, Therese Ann Marie, is at peace, and now the family will be also.
I've never seen an individual who was so cold-hearted as this individual here.
And he will be where he will never, ever, ever hurt anyone again. Like you hurt my daughter.
Throughout the trial, Moore wore a leg-locking brace and an electronic device capable of essentially zapping him if he acted out. That was because of threatening comments that he had made in the past. They were never used during the trial. And so essentially, it could have been a tough situation in the courtroom, and it was, but not to the extent that some thought it might be.
Okay, Eric, so when will he?
That's my first time ever hearing it. I ain't never heard that they put like ankle bracelets on somebody to shock them in the courtroom because they're scared of outbreaks. It's my first time ever hearing that. Y'all ever heard that before?
Be sentenced.
He'll be back in court on November 12th. That's one day after the anniversary of the shooting and the standoff. He faces mandatory life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Okay, Eric, thank you.
Scary times, scary things to hear, to listen to that's going on. Hold on. Let's talk about Brian Kennedy, 37, was found guilty of first-degree murder following 30 minutes of jury deliberation on Thursday. A spokesperson of the Delaware County District Attorney Office told NBC 10 that they were unsure of when sentencing would take place, but that Kennedy would receive a mandatory life in prison without parole. On March 28, 2019, Kennedy walked into a Wawa store on 151 Sugartown Road in Radnor Township and used AR-15 semi-automatic rifle to kill his 37-year-old ex-wife Stephanie Miller while others were inside. Kennedy shot her point-blank range in the head and stomach, according to the affidavit of probable cause. With the Amalite 15, he brutally murdered the mother of his child in a public place in cold blood, placing numerous others at risk. He then cowardly fled the area, Delaware County District Attorney Antonia Copeland said. A witness flagged down a Radnor Township police and reported that shots were fired inside the Wawa. At the same time, police received multiple calls reporting a woman had been shot at least twice inside the store by a man armed with a rifle. Now, these stories are crazy. Yeah, we have so many men killing. This man killed his wife during a custody exchange.
New tonight, a jury has convicted the man accused of murdering his ex-wife inside a Wawa. It was nearly 4 years ago when Brian Kennedy shot and killed Stephanie Miller inside the Wawa store on Sugartown Road in Radnor. Today, a jury found him guilty of first-degree murder after just 30 minutes of deliberation. Delaware County DA's office tells NBC 10 he will face a mandatory life sentence without parole.
The thing is, I'm gonna ask y'all a question when it comes to stuff like this. Do y'all think that women understand the severity of how men feel when it comes to their family and their kids and supposed to be protecting them and giving their all to have the family that they want, and women just pack up and leave? Now I understand that it's not okay for a man to do this, but sometimes people give their all to certain situations just for the other person to take off and leave, or just feel like they can do what they want, especially with the children, or with their life, or just picking up and go. And we know how it is. Sometimes breakups are messy. People are say stuff to hurt one another's feelings. But I just want to know, like, do y'all think that a lot of women should not even try to get into a relationship with a man? Because we know one of the most common places for women to find abuse is in a relationship. So as a woman, you're more likely to be harmed or in some type of physical altercation while in a relationship with a man. That's when you're typically going to get in a domestic violence abuse. So should women just opt out of being in relationships altogether? Should women not procreate with men at all? Like, these are questions that we got to ask. Like, do y'all think it's safe for women to do so? Do women have the capacity to have the long term or the longevity that's needed to be in a forever relationship if you're talking about getting married? We understand that it's weird too, because number one reason that people get divorced is money, and then women leave these relationships and then put men on child support and stuff like that. Of course, the child has to be paid for or taken care of financially, but do y'all think that that's wise on a woman's part? Do you think that people should tough it out? Do you think they should stay in separate rooms? Like, I sleep in this room, you sleep in this room, we're staying together so our children don't have to live out of a suitcase, or this weekend here, this weekend there. You do what you want to do on the weekends, I do what I want to do on the next weekend. We swap out. You have your boyfriend, I have my girlfriend. The children is none the wiser. They don't know what's going on, and we just treat this like a big loving family. You don't ask me questions about what I'm doing out here in the street. I don't ask you questions about what's going out in the street. We still pay these bills or whatnot. If the love is going, you don't think people can come with arrangement like that, a lifestyle like that? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that's feasible? Do y'all think that's okay? I think people with conversations, I think a lot of people can have those type of relationships or have that type of understanding where they could have something where you sleep in different rooms, or y'all can have it to where y'all open y'all relationship up if it's not working anymore. I know sometimes it might be kind of hard because of jealousy. It's past history there. Hell, you might not want to give her that cootie pop. She might not want to give her that Peter Walker to nobody else. But these are questions that we got to ask, because we having too many issues and too many incidences where people are starting lives together and having kids together just to break up the family and do what they want to do. And I tell people this. People always say marriage is hard, it's work and all of this, but marriage ain't that hard. I'm married. I do the same thing every day. Take care of my wife, my kids, and stuff like that. It's not nothing hard to do. It's not difficult. But being selfish, that's what's difficult. Doing what you want to do, that's difficult. Answering to somebody else in that household, that's difficult. Like, those are the things that get difficult and makes it hard and makes it feel like it's work. Sometimes marriage is monotonous. It's the same thing over and over every day. And sometimes you have to fine tune marriage. You know what I'm saying? You have to constantly build trust when you're married. You have to constantly find new sexual positions. You have to constantly find some spark in your marriage. And sometimes people would rather do that with somebody else. People would rather go and date somebody for 6 months and have that spark and leave and do that with somebody else, and then leave and then do that with somebody else and keep doing it. It's never an ending cycle when you could just meet someone and you understand that, the honeymoon phase, you get you a good year, 2 years, and then you have to find something new that gives you a spark, find new hobbies, travel new places and do new things. Like, I don't understand why people don't understand that aspect of relationship. It's an ebb and flow, it's up and down, it's a roller coaster at times. But when it comes to these children, that's the most important thing. And a lot of us are putting bad product out. Not me, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do with my child and my children. But there's a lot of people who are dating people or just having sex. A lot of people are pregnant longer than they're in relationships with people, which is some wild shit. A lot of people are pregnant longer than they're in relationships with some people. A lot of people are getting pregnant on one night stands. And that's even crazy to me, because how are you allowing a man to go in you raw? How are you as a man going in a woman raw with STDs and stuff like that? Like, you're not protecting your seed, and woman, you're not protecting your womb. Like, you got to think about it. Women are still dying from giving birth. There are still complications from women having birth, having children. And we're still out here just acting like, sex is just something that we do and it was supposed to be fun and freeing. And okay, all of that may be true, but there's a lot of consequences that come behind sex. And a lot of people are putting bad product out here back into society, i.e. the children. Nobody wants to do what it takes. A lot of people want to just stick a tablet in front of their child's face and let the tablet parent their child. A lot of y'all letting the music parent your child. A lot of y'all letting the TVs parent your children. Y'all ain't talking to your child. Y'all ain't, spending one-on-one time with them. Y'all are just feeding them and putting tablets in front of their face. And that's what y'all think parenting is nowadays. And that's why so many of these kids get bad information. A lot of these kids get horrible information when it comes to sex, when it comes to what's being a man, what's being a woman. We have just listening to a lot of the teachers that I'm around and seeing that these young girls don't even know what to do when they first get their cycles, or keeping tampons or pads with them on a regular basis. A lot of young girls ain't keeping purses just for that instance, and it's crazy and sad that there's so many people that's having these issues, young people. Having a lot of young people going to school just to eat. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that people are in it for the long haul when it comes to relationships? Do y'all think people have what it takes? Do y'all think people even understand what it takes to even be a parent? A lot of people are out here just having sex and just busting a nut. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, busting a nut feel good at times. It's real good. But do y'all think people understand the longevity that comes in it? Like, people think children is an 18-year-long thing, which it's not. It's a lifelong thing. The extra stress that children add to your life, worrying about them, the final destination type of stuff you think might happen to your children. Like, do you think, like, do people even think about that, the extra stress that's added to you? Like, kids, like I said, kids are precious, they're lovable, but there are a lot of work that goes into having children. And like I said, women or men should not use children as pawns, should not use children to get back at the other, should not put people around them, be like, oh, this is my new boyfriend, just to make the father upset or the mother upset. It should be also a consultation of, if you're dating someone new, like, the other parent should meet that person. I firmly believe that if you're dating, if you have children, I don't think that you should be dating until your children are out the house. That's my personal opinion. I know people are going to say, well, what about love? You don't want to give all this attention to your children and whoop, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, that's cool and that's understandable, but do you want to run the risk of putting a predator around your child? Do you want to run the risk of someone hurting your child? Do you want to run the risk of your child not doing well in school because they hate going home because you have a stranger in the house? Do you want to run the risk of your child hating the person that you bring in the house and it's not their father or mother and they want y'all to get back together? Like, these are questions that you have to ask yourself. Do you want to run that risk? And my thing is, when it comes to life, I always believe in risk mitigation, right? So if you can avoid a lot of that stuff, why don't you? Because love is a choice. People always act like love just fall off and just hit you in the damn head, and Cupid just shot you in the booty, and now you just all so in love, and it's this fairy tale Cinderella. I gotta find, who fits this slipper type stuff. No, dog. Love is a choice. You choose to go out there and date somebody, meet them at the bar, or meet them at the club, or decide to go on a date with them multiple times and decide to have sex with them and decide, hey, this is who I want to spend my life with. Like, love is a choice. Love is an action. We choose when we want to love. We choose when we don't want to love. It's not that hard. A lot of people make it harder than what it has to be. And this is why I ask people, do people understand what it takes to go into actually loving a child, actually being with a child, actually catering to your child, actually feeding them and giving them proper nutrition, even feeding them mentally, books that you read to them, music that you listen to around them. Like, children are always going to be heavy on my heart because I understand this is the generation that comes up, and then I have children as well. Like, I'm always thinking about somebody else's child is going to be around my child and play with my child as well. So they're going to pick up bad habits, and it's going to be people who don't parent the way that I do. And yes, you should have people around your children that parent the same way that you do. Children that's around your children whose parents parent them the way that you do. Like I said, you should have a tribe. You should have a community of people who think the way that you do, love the way that you do. Open up their homes the way that you do. Excuse me. And all of that is very important. Like I said, we have a lot of people putting a lot of bad product out here. Like I said, these kids, we have renegades nowadays. We have a lot of young boys flipping off the handle because their mother won't buy them a new game system and killing their mother. Or we have a young boy who shot his mother. What I think was on live, he shot his mother. We had one of the young boy that had the mother had the cameras around the house, and when he killed her, all the cameras were miraculously disabled that day. Let me see if I can find a story, as a matter of fact. Oh, he was 10. Hold on. See, and like I said, I call these kids now, these are the renegades that we got to watch out for. These are the kids who don't care about they don't care about any certain consequences. They don't care about any of their actions that they do. A lot of these fathers aren't in the teach these children consequences, or actually to whoop these damn children. How do y'all feel about whoopings? Do y'all think whoopings are good or bad? Do y'all think whoopings are good or bad?
Angela was hurt in a car wreck. Rumor law.
Excuse the ads.
Ten-year-old Milwaukee boy opening fire, killing his mother at close range. 12 News is not naming the boy due to his age, but new court documents reveal the boy opened fire because his mom wouldn't buy him something on Amazon, and then he purchased a virtual reality headset from her Amazon account the day after. Tonight, chilling new details of a 10-year-old Milwaukee boy opening fire, killing his mother at close range. 12 News is not naming the boy due to his age, but new court documents reveal the boy opened fire because his mom wouldn't buy him something on Amazon, and then he purchased a virtual reality headset from her Amazon account the day after she died. The deadly shooting happened Monday at the boy's home near 87th and Hemlock on the northwest side of the city. Police initially ruled the shooting accidental, but the criminal complaint says the 10-year-old's family called police with serious concerns the next day. The boy's sister telling detectives, quote, he has had rage issues all of his life.
Now, reading this, he has rage issues all of his life. He becomes very angry and acts out. Do y'all think a father was in his household? Just ask yourself, do you think a father was in his household?
becomes very angry and acts out, adding that he had been seeing a therapist. And when police questioned the boy a second time, they say he told them the shooting wasn't accidental and that he was mad at his mother because she woke him up early that morning.
According to this complaint, police say the boy told them he took his mother's keys and grabbed the gun from a lockbox, then went down to the basement to confront his mother while she was doing laundry.
These are the renegades. These are the bad products that y'all keep putting back out into society. This boy killed his mother because she wouldn't buy him some. So premeditated, he got the key and got the gun out the lockbox the way that the mother is supposed to keep the key locked up. She's supposed to keep the gun locked up like that, and she did what she was supposed to do, but he went and got the key and killed her while she was doing laundry.
The boy told investigators he only meant to scare his mother by shooting at the wall, instead admitted that he shot her in the face and that he knew guns can kill people.
He knew his mama wasn't coming back. These are the renegades. These is the bad products that y'all keep putting back out in society. And I'm sure ain't no dad in this house.
No one answered the door at the family's home Thursday. The complaint says the boy's grandmother said he told her, quote, "I'm sorry for killing my mom," then asked if his Amazon package had arrived.
Well, Hillary, tonight, what's next for this boy?
Well, Patrick, he is charged as an adult. He's due back in court next week, and if convicted, could face 60 years in prison. Meanwhile, his mother's funeral is set for Friday.
Just think about this guy, this kid, 10 years old, haven't even lived his life yet, hasn't even probably even hit puberty yet at 10 years old, and could be charged with 60 years, sentenced to 60 years in court, in prison. 60 years. This is crazy. These are the renegades that y'all keep putting back out in society.
Hey, Hillary Mintz reporting live tonight.
Because his mother wouldn't buy him some. He's so cold-hearted that even the day after he killed her, he went and bought him something, then asked his grandmama, did his Amazon package arrive? He was more concerned about his Amazon package arriving than was his mother okay. These are the products that y'all putting back into society. And we can hear way more stories about boys killing their mothers than the boys killing or anybody killing their own fathers. Hold on. Oh man. Here go another story. Let's talk about this one. It says Los Angeles, a man in his 20s stabbed and killed his own mother during Wednesday afternoon argument at a residence in Boyle Heights. On December 20th, 2006 at 2 p.m., the mother, Transito Caressa, 43, was at home on the 2700 block of New Jersey Street when she became involved in an argument with her son, Daniel Hidalgo, 24. At one point, Hidalgo became enraged and attacked his mother with a large kitchen knife, stabbing her multiple times in the chest and stomach. Other family members wrestled the son away and held him for police. Damn, he did this in front of everybody else. Transito rushed to the local hospital but died after her injuries a short time later. Responding officers took the son and murder weapon into custody without further incident. Hidalgo was booked for murder and bail and set for $1 million. It's a bunch of cases like this. You just come up. Here's another one, Tennessee. Oh, he got to be geeked up. This man got to be geeked up. Sullivan County, Tennessee. A man killed his mother Saturday, according to the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. The victim was identified as 57-year-old Jill Sly of Bristol, Tennessee. Her son, Benjamin Sly, was charged with first-degree murder and aggravated assault. Benjamin Sly, hold on, it's loading. Benjamin Sly was arraigned in court Monday morning. His bond remained $1 million, and he is due back in court on February the 15th. This is sad. It's another one, El Paso. Son kills mother with shotgun after argument. Suspect now under arrest. A 17-year-old killed his mother with a shotgun after argument Friday, December 16th, and then fled the scene, El Paso police said. According to police, Juan Ortiz, 17, fled from the scene after shooting, was arrested Sunday after he tried to cross over to Paso del Norte International Bridge in downtown El Paso. Police says Ortiz's mother, 4-year-old Ortiz, after an argument. She was taken to the local hospital. She died after a rubble. According to court documents, the shooting was witnessed by the victim's brother and one of her children. According to the same documents, police also obtained video surveillance showing the suspect fleeing the scene on foot after shooting his mother. The surveillance video also shows the unidentified person attempted to hide the suspected firearm used in a murder in a vehicle outside the home. This is sad. Like I said, you got plenty. Like I just searched son shooting mother, and now got a bunch of cases just coming up. 25-year-old man allegedly killed his mother and 3 days later died by suicide at their home. This is crazy. Oh, I've been on here an hour. I think I'm about to get up. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all share. Give me some likes, pretty please, with sugar on top. We're trying to grow the channel. It's the New Normal Podcast, and we're gone.